All right, you guys, welcome to the Savage Mountain Podcast, where we have familiar conversations with unfamiliar faces, or vice versa. This show is brought to you by Neo Life, physical therapy and wellness, Neo Fit, and Neo Golf, where you can get your short game up. I ain't no golfer, but we can do that. So today's chapter, I don't have a name for the chapter, but I have a very, very, very great human being in front of me. Dr. Justin Holt at our Gulfport location, but he's a physical therapist of all around the world, man, So I know you, but the world don't know you. Could you drop your origin story on the people?
My origin story?
Yes.
So Dr. Justin Holt, I don't go by doctor often. It's still, after being in this for 3 years, it still feel weird.
Okay.
But yeah, Justin Holt from Gulfport, Mississippi. Went to Gulfport High School. Played college baseball at Nicholls State University. Was an outfielder. Did all 4 years there. And finished up at Nicholls and came to Neo Life. And I've been here ever since 2017, rocking it with my boy Quan. We came in at the same time, for real.
Man.
Yeah, so we've been knowing each other for a long time.
Right.
Been through the grind together for sure.
This dude has literally done everything, and I've talked to my executive producer, DJ Batch, for those who don't know. It's only, y'all finna say it's like our CEO, Rebecca O'Neill, I always say like it takes one day for her to choose to be a tech, and then one day where you be the CEO, and that's the only way she could say that she'll never, even if she decides to be a tech. But if you decide to take her job for a day, then it's like there's nothing else you could do in the company because you literally done everything.
It's the last box to check on the checklist.
The last box to check, bro, to be the CEO, man. I say, bro, that you're one of one because, again, dude, you made me realize that baseball players are athletes. Yeah, top tier athletes.
We is for sure. We the best ones.
Man, when I saw you with that damn medicine ball that one time, I said, "Oh yeah, he different."
Talk about Danny Ball.
It was definitely Danny Ball.
It's that Danny Ball, man.
Can you explain what Danny Ball is, just for the audience?
Danny Ball is where you take a 10 to 14 pound medicine ball, and basically you play volleyball with it, but you chunk it across your body on one side of the field. It could be, as far as like width wise, I don't know what. 15, 20.
Yeah, I would say like width-wise, as far as yardage, we would mark it off about 20 yards.
About 20 yards off, man. But with this guy, dude, I'd be on the east side of the volleyball, of the width, and then throw it across the net, and I'm like, oh, he ain't got it. Fucker would track it and then sling it back to me or sling it to the other side. And I'm like, man, ain't no way, I ain't never seen no baseball player do this kind of nonsense, bro.
Yeah. What do you think about in baseball, like how much quick and like pivoting and like quick bursts you have to do? So especially with me being in center field, I had those same cuts with Danny Ball. I had to do like, pretty much my whole life. So it meshed well. It
does mesh well, but a lot of times it's like in my era, you just like watching highlights and Sports Center and stuff like that. You would just see the picture, like the way that they edit up the cuts on Sports Center. It's just you see the picture, you striking people out, and then you see a home run, and then you see some people backpedaling, but they ain't getting it because it's a home run. It's just the way that it was edited. Mm-hmm. And then in the hood, where we grew up, it was like I wasn't seeing a lot of baseball players anyway. They was running the ball. I'm like, yeah, this ain't it for me. We either running the ball or we dunking or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like those were the two things. Baseball wasn't really it. And then nowadays, like with this resurgence, I guess MLB and other forms of like baseball from college or whatnot, kind of reinventing themselves and embracing individuality. Mm-hmm. Exploring that not Dominican Republic, but African Americans. Are on the baseball field, and that's where they kind of, and you can attest to it. Like they would say, like, no, just because we have the same skin tone, that is the same. Like, nah, they don't speak English.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? So like, And I knew that. I knew Sammy Sosa ain't speaking no English. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just Barry and then Ken Griffey, what I saw. So then as I'm seeing you, and you younger than me, and I'm like, bro, buddy, moving. They said, nah, he don't play football. I'm like, is it baseball this is? I was like, God, man, that was different. But that just goes to show you that, like, you were just as dominant on the baseball field, but you were just as dominant in the classroom, too. And the intelligence. And, like, what do you attribute that, like, that level of focus to? Is it like, was it a coach? Is it mom? Is it dad?
Oh, it was definitely mom and dad for sure.
Yeah.
My dad would always tell me, he'd be like, you're not competing with the kids in this area or around here.
Yeah.
You competing with them kids in the Dominican Republic, in Puerto Rico. Them kids are coming from nothing, right? And they hungry. And so he would tell me that like every single day. I would wake up 4 or 5 in the morning, go to the gym. I'd be like, I'm tired. He's like, tired. Them kids in Dominican ain't tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so
Find a way, man.
So mentally, like, that's what he had instilled in me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just kind of took that. And I was always just like a grind through, like, get after it with that mentality. And so, yeah, I just had in mind, like, the kids around here, you know, this isn't my true competition. Because when I was young, everybody has, like, aspiration to go play in the MLB, NFL, all this different stuff. And for sure, that's what I thought I was going to be doing.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. And you have to. When you're an athlete, you got to, you know, have the expectation that, you know, you're not just doing this just to make it to, I just want to play in high school. And then, you know, if you're a true athlete, you're trying to play at the highest level possible, right? Yeah. So just knowing, like, that level of competition wasn't just around me. It was, you know, places that
there you go.
I can't truly see their work ethic, but I know I'm going to do my best to work harder than they do.
See?
You know, so.
Yeah, you're different than me, bro. I had that mindset of, like, I wanted to, because that's with the identity or whatnot. We've always been. I feel like you've discovered the identity of a runner. That's another thing that you're transformed into. The identity to be a true academic scholar. Mm-hmm. A lot of things, like, you discovered that on your own. I know a lot of times as males, especially black males in America, we've been given that identity of an athlete. Mm-hmm. And that ain't even something like we kind of like, no, you just assume, like, this is what you are, this is what you do. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm like, I never had the ability to just play. And I think, like, that's what we was on where we have alignment in that order. Cause it's like, my mom was like, I want you to do this so I can get a house. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I ain't playing. Like, I want to be able to take care of my people. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. And then along the lines, you know, things change or whatnot. But I was like, I wasn't even thinking about going to NFL or or even going to college. I was just like, how am I going to do what I need to do to pay for my mom this? And I think the NFL is how you're going to go. So I'm going to just do what I got to do. And not thinking about the numbers. The first time I heard the 1%, I cussed my damn world geography teacher out, bro. Like, he was like, you ain't the 1%. And I ain't know what that meant. I was just like, I'm going to the NFL. He was like, you ain't the 1%. And he said it again in his tone. I said, I'll beat your old ass. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, my mindset was just like way different. But you had the mindset of like, it's other people in a third world country that you competing with. Yeah. And I'm ready to tee off on my damn world geography teacher because he was spitting facts, but that wasn't registered in my head. I was just like, nah, G, like, you being disrespectful. But that insight. But anyway, having that forward thinking, did that propel you to become a physical therapist in a sense?
Yeah, definitely, like, that work ethic that I had helped me throughout college and PT school. By the time I got to college, and so like with baseball, it's like you can get drafted out of high school still, like with MLB, right? So, I knew I wanted to be a physical therapist, but that was like plan B, if that makes sense. But you know, so it was like, like, it would be cool to go after. If this don't work out, this kind of thing. It was never like something that I kind of like banked everything on up until like probably like my junior, definitely senior year of college. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get drafted.
Oh, man.
I'm not going to. And I tore my rotator cuff my senior year, too. So that pretty much ended my baseball career in a sense.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm not talking to scouts like I was no more. Like, you know, all the hype and kind of calmed down. I was like, let me try to figure out this PT thing now. It's pretty much like what led me into it.
Yeah.
But like that work ethic that my parents instilled in me, you know, with, you know, you're not just competing against these kids, you know, around. I felt like I was able to take that into like, PT school and everything and like just grind it out. So
damn it, you did, man.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, definitely my mom and dad. My mom she was super tough on me on like the books aspect of it.
Yeah.
And my dad was too. He'd make sure, you know, there was like a no tolerance thing with him. But I would say he was more of like who drove me in sports, and then my mom was who drove me more like books and stuff like that.
Were you tough on yourself as well?
Yeah. I was tough on myself. I feel like I'm still tough on myself too. As far as like not really being scared to fail, because failure like breeds growth, right? Yeah. But I hate failure, you know, like I hate coming up short and stuff. And so I can definitely be tough on myself throughout that whole entire process still. And, you know.
I think it's easy to do so. It's easy to be tough on yourself.
It is.
You're your worst critic.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's because we can speak so much negative to ourselves, right? And so it's like the guy I work with, Matt, one of the PTAs in Bay St. Louis, he always says like, if this isn't something that you're gonna say to somebody else, then like don't say it to yourself. That makes sense, you know. So like, if I'm not gonna, you know, look at you and be like, "Come on, man, you're a piece of shit. You're this and that."
Yeah.
I would never say that to you. So why would I say that to myself? Right. So that's just kind of continues to kind of putting yourself down when you don't need to, like build yourself up, you know. So
like the king you are, man. Golly, dude.
I ain't mastered that yet. Like I'm still hard on myself, but my guy Matt, man, he's a good dude, man.
You got a hell of a team over there, man. You got a hell of a team.
We do got a good team over there in the Bay, man. I'm happy.
That evolution as a leader, have you found your voice in that? Because you are the youngest of three.
Yeah.
And a lot
Two
of times,
older sisters. Yeah.
When you the youngest of the camp, you don't get no say.
Yeah.
And I seen your moms and your dad how they operate. Ain't no back talk.
Yeah. Oh no.
So that leads me to this question here. Like as you grow and you get these accolades, and again, like you don't walk around like doctor, but call a spade a spade. You are a doctor. How does it, like, you know, being able to like be a leader and find that voice and command the room in that sense? How do you go about navigating those waters? Yeah,
man. So definitely you have to, as a leader, you have to show respect to like get respect and to get love back, right? So I would say the way I lead is I make sure that I show respect and I show love, right, to all my people. Yeah. Because, you know, I know they're going to show it back, right? And so if I speak to them, even if I am hard on them, they know that it's coming out of a place of respect and love. And usually I really haven't had a situation where like I've said something to somebody and they like took it the wrong way. Yeah. Like they'll be like, okay, like I know he's doing this because it's what's best for me individually, or that person individually, and for the company, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's the big thing. It's like if you don't show that love and respect to people, how are you going to expect to get it back, or how are you going to expect, you know, somebody to want to like open up to you about stuff, you know, because people are going through like real world problems too. So like I have to take into account like if somebody's having like a bad day at work, but it's something outside of work that's affecting, right? Something going on at home. And I'm just coming on and I'm just like, you know, why you not doing this? Why you not doing that? Yeah. And they don't want to tell me because they don't have like that respect and love for me, and like being able to, I guess, confide in somebody. Then, you know, that can go south quick, right? But I feel like I've built a relationship where at work, like, okay, they're going through something. I'll be like, hey, you know, this is that, everything good. And then usually they're able to open up and just like tell me what's going on. And then if we need to modify some stuff throughout the day or whatever we're going through, or if we just need to, you know, we'll handle this, go home, take care of you kind of thing. You know, we're able to do that and have that healthy conversation because it's led with like love and respect.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
If I may butt in here.
Right ahead.
That's something that I've always kind of admired about you, Justin, is like
appreciate it, man.
Off the rip, you went to Bay St. Louis, you graduated school, and you immediately were given clinical director. Am I wrong on that?
Pretty much.
Pretty
yeah,
much.
I kind of like stepped into that role by accident.
Yeah. And is it you've taken it head on, and it's inspirational, honestly. But was there a moment like before that or before talks about, hey, we want you to be clinical director? Were you scared or nervous at all going into that role?
Yeah, for sure. Another one of those things, like facing failure, right? Because basically how the clinic operates or like how the clinic flourishes or fails is on me, right? And so going into that role as such, I was young. I'm still young.
Yeah.
But I was just a few months out of school when I kind of walked into that role. And it was like a unique situation at that point. They didn't have like a PT there permanently. And me and my wife, we were talking about getting engaged, but we were like, okay. At this point I was working in Gulfport and D'Iberville. And we had just got engaged or we were talking about getting engaged at least. And we were just like, okay, when we move in together, like you working in New Orleans, how are we gonna work this if I'm commuting to Gulfport, D'Iberville? And then so I was like, well, Bay St. Louis is just across the border, it's a little bit better. And so then I had kind of pushed to be in Bay St. Louis a little bit more. I wanted to be there, and it just, all just kind of fell into place with them having like a vacant spot. But I wasn't really looking to be like the clinical director or nothing like that. But then that role, and as you just take on different responsibilities as you being just like the only PT there. So I'm ordering stuff. I'm doing like clinical director stuff.
Right.
With no title on,
yeah.
But I didn't mind. I was just like, I'm just doing what I got to do to, keep the clinic rolling and help the company.
Yeah.
And then they started talking about, okay, you're already doing this. Why don't we put a role on it or put a title on it? And then I kind of got scared with the title,
man.
Because it's like, oh, like this is kind of official now. Like, like my name is on this. And again, facing that possibility of failure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as time has gone on, and like I said, being that leadership role and showing that love and respect, what I've learned, like we talked about, what I've learned that's kind of like just hit home run the most with people.
Yep.
As time going on, I kind of figured that out, and now I'm not gonna say it's a breeze, but I definitely enjoy like being a clinical director, and having like this leadership role and being able to just like touch so many people, in a sense, and just try to get people to be the best version of themselves through my role. So I just enjoy that process for sure.
Yeah, being a mentor.
Yeah.
A lot of times, but just from like you're young, but you're so, and I guess that's with having, and I've seen this with kids that have older parents. They just have a certain level of maturity about them, and you have a level of calmness. And I said this with Brandy. Not a lot of cats could navigate the room the way you navigate the room, because you have it's a regalness that you got, you know what I'm saying? And when I say king, I'm gonna say it like in a, like just to be cool, like in a Wakandan way. I'm like, you carry yourself as such, because I truly believe that. Like, he conduct business like a king, and not all kings are going out there looking for war. You prepared, but you ain't out there seeking it. You know what I'm saying? And how you can engage and be diplomatic and build and grow up on people, like, you should be a pillar. Because there ain't a lot of black men in the healthcare facility
It's not
doing that. So, like, that's one of the things, that's one of the main reasons I got you on here, because it's like, you essentially are a voice for the voiceless a lot of times. So, like, representation matters.
Yeah.
And it's in our entertainment, it's in everything that we consume. It needs to be more taboo in our healthcare, because I grew up hearing folks that say, man, if they go to the hospital, they gonna die. And they was afraid to walk in that motherfucker, because it was like, ain't no comeback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that didn't really hit home to me until I started working in Gulfport. Even though they didn't acknowledge that little island as Gulfport, that wasn't the real Gulfport. But when we came in there, me and Jessica, like, it would be something that they're not used to seeing, and we had to, work a little extra harder to show, like, hey, this is something different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like, the company believes in you, but the company don't got to walk the way got to walk that walk. You know, we got to do our thing because, again, like that fear of failure, if people look and turn around, that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
so how did you, especially being on the other side of the moon in Bay St. Louis, we're gonna call a spade, bro. We ain't gonna incriminate nothing, but shit different over there.
It's a little bit different over there.
So like, but
Hancock County.
man, but the way that you have like galvanized and just cultivated that own kind of culture and build it, where it's like you ain't got this brand new thing, but the way that you move, and it feels like you got your own kingdom over there, when it wasn't supposed to be yours.
Yeah, it was not originally. I was supposed to be in Gulfport.
Yeah,
I was
man,
supposed to be my home.
man playing and God laughs. I got something for you.
Yeah.
So how does that like build on you to like know like this is, I have to face I have a journey that no one else has to like go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you go through that? Because again, like when people see you, they don't expect that from you. That's what we did. That's what we dealt with in Gulfport. How did you deal with that in Bay St. Louis?
In Bay St. Louis?
Yeah.
So, well, I look, especially like treating people and connecting with people and showing the love to people, right?
Yeah.
I want to treat people as if I'm treating my grandmother, if I'm treating my mom, my sister, right? Something like that. I want to show them like that same amount of love and respect and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think, like you're saying, that that underrepresentation of the black professional or physical therapist, I say, right? Doctor of physical therapy, over at 4.2% is our representation right now. It's out of the whole entire field. Right, it's pretty low.
And it's a competitive field.
Yeah, and then speaking of like black men, at that is going to be much lower than that. A majority of black physical therapists are women. So like the black male representation is going to be a lot lower. So it's like using that as like my leverage to try to really connect with people, right, and show love to the people who most likely would not have gotten or would not have received that love that they went to another physical therapist.
Yes.
Right. And so, again, the black community as a whole, like, I'm not going to say that we don't trust medicine, but we tend to try to figure out on our own before we, run to, seek help. Right.
Yeah. Our faith.
Yeah. So people are coming in vulnerable already. They're basically saying, okay, I need help. Can I trust you? Right. And so if I'm treating them like their diagnosis and not like they're the person that they are, then I'm going to miss the mark every single time. So, you have different characters that come through there, right? I'm just leave it at that. Different characters that come through there, but you just got to show them the same amount of love that you would your mom, grandma, right? Any other family member, right? Because if my mom was going somewhere, I want her to be treated with the utmost respect and love and really be taken care of and have her best interest at heart. So I just I challenge myself to do that same thing with, everybody who walks through the door, no matter, what their opinions or, what they look like or things like that. But like you said, when our receptionist, Tina, she'll say like, Dr. Holt will be with you in a second, like a new patient. I know when I come around that curtain,
that ain't
I'm
what
not exactly the picture that they thought. Right. So
every time.
And I've had somebody be like, I'm like interviewing, you starting off with the subjective, so you got the interview process. I had somebody say, so are you going to go back and tell this to the doctor? And I was like, I am the doctor. So.
Dang.
Told you on the north side of the moon, man.
Like, okay.
Shut up after
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
I've had that done at least twice before.
And, that's crazy.
So it's just, but that's not something you take to heart. It's just, it's just people have just a thought of what, this role should look like or what this person should look like that has this role.
Yeah.
And again, 4.2% is representation, right? So probably what they've seen beforehand is nothing but, probably white, male or female physical therapists, right? So they see me come around the corner like, oh, this is different. Everybody's going to kind of have their guard up a little bit to something different or something they're not used to. So break through it, with that love and respect.
And it's okay to talk about it. Like a lot of times people are just like, let's not acknowledge it. Let's not say nothing about it. Like, no, it's okay. Like just had the discussion. Cause again, like if we don't know, we don't know. And that's what I figured out the most as I was, cause again, like I know damn well I'm not something that they expect to see in a healthcare facility.
Yeah.
Especially like because I'm a non-traditional. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what? Huh? How you? Oh, yeah. Wow. Like it's like that whole building or whatnot. But representation, man, it matters. But we just need to be able to just have appropriate discourse on it and just grow and expand. Because expansion leads, exposure leads to expansion. And the more that we expose to people out there that's engaging and knowing that, like, I don't have to dribble a ball to do what I need to do or to support my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to sing a song or, you know what I'm saying, do all these things that typically is done.
Yeah.
You know, like, no.
Yeah.
You can be a physical therapy and be draped in gold. Put that camera on that man. Like you can have sauce, bro, and still have an incredible GPA.
Yeah,
like
very true.
You don't have to look a certain way to do these things, man, and still speak with incredible like have incredible dialect and vernacular, you know, big dollar words, and go about business as such, and still listen to J. Cole. Now, as we cruise on through, tell me this, man. How do you run the way you run and listen to R&B music?
Is that true? You listen to R&B?
So
while you
yeah,
run?
my running playlist, I can only listen to like R&B, like slower songs.
Hold on, man. Before you go any further, bro, let me tell you how this dude humbled me, man. So look, before I got some size on me, we used to go out on the beach. And we used to run. It was like 3.1 down and back.
Yeah, it was down from the lighthouse to Sharkheads.
Yep. Believe it or not, I used to do that.
In the sand.
Not on the concrete, in the sand.
Yeah.
So we running, bro. And Justin ahead of us. So I'm like, all right, but long as I can see him, we cooking. And I'm getting there, bro. And I'm getting closer to him. But I also know that he got to turn back around. So I get close enough to him, and then he, like typically people get there, that catch their breath, and then they'll go about business. They'll go the other way. He gets to the mark, bro, and boom, pivots to go the other way. And as he running past me, all I hear in his headphones, bro, is, just for the sake of the conversation, it's like 90s R&B. I want to say Sade. It was something that's not supposed to be playing. And he hit me with it, and everything in me just dropped. I was like, bro, this dude busting our ass listening to 90s R&B. Ain't nothing gangster about what we doing is treacherous. This is, you need to be listening to DMX like this. Not everybody's running and it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot out there. Middle of the summer, bro. We're going through it, man. And he over there just getting serenaded. Just blissfully just going about business. Killing our asses, bro. So how did you come to learn to do that?
Man, shout out to you with them workouts, first of all, man. You used to run us through it for real.
Try.
Man, Danny Ball, and then with the loser had to do we had to either do like suicides or like do some kind of jog or do like some push-up burpees, stuff like that.
Burpees, man.
Ooh, man, but
man,
what so how I started listening to like slow music. Okay, I'm gonna say this. When I'm in the gym working out, I don't listen to R&B.
Okay.
All right. But when I run, I have to. So for me, running allows me just like to forget like life a little bit.
Escapism.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say running is like my escape now at this point. Like especially, and it was like that even when I was in like high school too.
Yeah.
I really started running
different
when I might have been like 8 years old. My dad would run like 6 miles a day. No joke. My dad would go to the gym, work out, and then go run 6 miles every single day. And then come home, take me to school, go to work. Like, my dad was different, man. And so I'm watching him run all that time, 6 miles a day every single day. So to me, running's cool. My dad's like my superhero. So like running's cool. So I remember he got me running early. I was a little bit chubby, like when I was younger, like, all kids got that baby fat on, right?
Yeah.
My dad made me run it off. Like you said, you're not competing with kids around here. You compete with kids. So I'll be out there, 8-year-old jogging like 2 miles around like the neighborhood.
Hurt.
So, but at that point again, I think they barely had like MP3 players at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like the little, remember them little, they'd be like light blue or whatever. It had a little clicker on. Yeah. So I couldn't run with that. But over time, how I got into like running with R&B is that like R&B music kind of like mellows me out and like adds to like that mental escape for me. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so like even if I had like a camera at home, like watching me, I'm at home by myself, like on the weekend, just chilling out or whatever. I'm finna have some R&B music on, like chilling out and just kind of escaping, right? So, I just kind of couple that with my running. It also helped me like manage my heart rate and stuff like that. You think if I'm running to like DMX and all that stuff, and running is about managing like your heart rate, right? If you let your heart rate get up too high, like
you know that we run sprints, bro.
That's exactly it. When you're running, it's a marathon versus like you're in the gym, you're like going hard, explosion, and then cool off.
Exactly.
Well, with running, you have to be able to last that whole marathon, that whole sprint.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I had tried to run to like some upbeat music, but whenever my heart rate started touching like 180 and stuff like that, you get tired out quick. But if I got on my, Usher, Brent Faiyaz, like the R&B Drake, what else is on there? SZA,
some old Chris B, maybe.
What old school stuff do I have? I do have like an oldies playlist too.
You do?
That I got an oldies playlist too. Michael Jackson is on my regular running playlist too.
Macadamian or Chocolate Mike?
This is, which mic is this? This is Macadamian.
Yeah.
Like,
Cause you 90s.
Dirty Diana is on there.
Yeah, that is Macadamian Mike.
Yeah. Dirty Diana is on there. There's a little Chocolate Mike on there too. Pretty Young Thing, The Way You Make Me Feel. Stuff like that. All that's on my running playlist. Like, like the, some R&B stuff. But it just helps me manage my heart rate. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I gotta stick to this R&B thing. Just give me that mental escape.
Yeah.
Keep my heart rate around like 150 when I'm,
Bro.
when I got the R&B on.
Bro, we talk about, and a lot off camera, I've talked with our boss, founder Robbie Ellis, on how he's managed to reinvent himself as an athlete. And we've seen people fail. You've seen former teammates that don't know their hand from their ass after the athletic life leaves them.
Yes, yeah.
And it's taken away from them so abruptly. It's like something that's given to you and then it's taken away.
Yeah.
And
like
now you have to
out from under you.
Yeah, you like, damn, I don't know what to do now. Like this is all I've known. And I say it in a tone of comedic, but it's truly like it's a serious thing where people don't know how to do it.
No, for sure.
You and Robbie have done it in a fantastic way. But now, like I've spoken to Robbie about it, but now I want to know like how have you gone about that? Like really like is that something like like I'm going in a different phase? Do you speak about that? Like I'm going through a different phase of my life, or is it just something that just happens?
Yeah, so like as an athlete, like that's your identity.
Yeah.
It's like, you introduce yourself, I'm Justin Holt, the baseball player, right? That's all with that.
Boom.
That was your identity. So then when you're forced to leave that life, it's like, damn, now what do I do?
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that physical therapy was my plan B, and not that physical therapy is like necessarily my identity, like being a doctor of physical therapy. That's not necessarily my identity, but it has allowed me to kind of open up other identities. That makes sense. So my identity now, I would say my first identity for me is I'm a husband, right? That's my first identity. And then again, my son, right, brother, all those things. And then physical therapy after that. I'm thankful that my teacher, when I was in 8th grade, this is how I found out what physical therapy was in the first place.
Go ahead.
Miss Cooper, it was career discovery class. It was in 8th grade. So Miss Cooper, it was a project we had to do where she was like, hey, basically pick a career, research on it, present on it, all this stuff. And so I'm like, duh, I'm finna do baseball, football. I thought football was gonna be like my thing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do football. Like, duh, that's easy. That was my identity, right? I'm an athlete. What else am I gonna do? And then so she said, no, you can't do a sport. Like, pick something else. So I was like, okay. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shed a light on a career that should be appreciated more. So I picked janitor, right? I was like, I'm gonna pick. I said, she don't let me be an athlete. All right, I'm gonna pick a custodian. And then so I had the report all typed up, everything, and then she saw it and she's like, Justin, no. Like, she was like, do something bigger than this. She was like, I understand what you're trying to do, but like, aim higher. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, what else do I know? All right, athletic trainer. I'm still just kind of staying with the athlete thing. And then she was like, do something more, like do something you're not familiar with. Yeah. And so that's when I remember I'm just Googling, man, I don't know what to do. And then I found physical therapy. I had never even heard of physical therapy before this point, right? So
Lord knows.
Yeah, it's not something that's common really in the Black community. So I remember picked it, did a report on it. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I'm gonna just keep this in my back pocket as like a possible career choice, pending for whatever reason I don't make it as an athlete, right? And so that was always like in my back pocket. So I'm definitely thankful for Ms. Cooper to like push me to like, do something more, aim higher, and do those things. Because I probably wouldn't be a physical therapist today if it wasn't for her pushing me to do that for sure.
Exposure leads to expansion, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you saying that, like I definitely try to expand out in the community. So that's why I like to do so many community events, right? Because I want to not only put myself out there, but put the physical therapy profession out there for people who might not see it, just, you don't just walk past a physical therapy clinic every day and stuff like that, right? So go out there and touch different people and get them exposed to it. And then I also had the opportunity to talk at Xavier University in New Orleans. Cool. And it was a group of, it's probably like 100 Black kids that was in there. They were all like high school age. And so I had the opportunity to talk to them about physical therapy and again, just try to like do different outreach and stuff like that. So that's like my big goal is trying to like increase that representation, right? And so again, that's why I kind of like to get out in the community, do different things because I want to mentor people and I want to like put this great profession out there that I believe that it is, because prior to, let's think about like surgery, you would think is like the only out. Like I said, I tore my rotator cuff in college, and it was my senior year, and the doc was like, okay, if we do surgery on it, your senior season's over, basically. He's like, you can get healthy and like play after college, right, if that opportunity presents, but if you have the surgery, you're not gonna make it back before the season is. Or you can try physical therapy. He's like, I can't make no promises, but try it out, see if you can come back. So I did physical therapy. Was able to come back like for like the last 3 games of the season, 2-3 games of the season, something like that.
And this your senior year
at Nichols? Yeah, in college. So I was able to finish like I guess put like a bow on it. If that makes sense, right? Instead of just kind of completely being out of it, and that was because of physical therapy, right? But if he wouldn't have presented that that choice, I'd be like, all right, doc, just cut on me. Like, what else are we gonna do? So that's why I believe so much in physical therapy and the power of it. And not that we're healing people. God, that's God's doing, right? Yeah. But we can definitely like put people in the best position for healing, right? And so that's why I preach so much on physical therapy, because my experience with it and how like life changing it was for me, like when I was in college.
That's amen to that.
Because my physical therapy session was god awful.
Really?
Yes, Lord knows, man. This podcast is not about me. But my moment with physical therapy, man, I was on a BOSU ball. I had torn meniscus and a severe right ankle sprain. And I'm sitting there on this BOSU ball, and I'm throwing this ball, and I'm catching throwing it, catching it. And then by the 27th, 28th time I threw this ball and caught it, I looked around like, ain't nobody paying attention to me.
Mm-hmm. And it happens so often.
My house is right around the corner. Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Put my shit on and got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So when I found myself working in a physical therapy center, my mindset was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the reason that kid.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because who knows? Like, I would probably end up being. It's just I ended up being in the physical therapy, but just differently. You know, instead of because I ain't had nobody talk about no PT. Your A grade when my report and my hand to God, I want to be a dope boy. I swear, I was like, yo, that's if I ain't playing a ball, I'm gonna do the other part.
Yeah. Right,
Like,
that's what you was exposed to. That's what you had seen.
That's what I was exposed to.
That's
what I saw.
representation that you see.
Representation I saw.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. I got to get the gab. I can sell salt to a snail. Like, why not? I can make that happen. And physical therapy I thought it was trash. I was like, I didn't even know what physical therapy was, bro. Like, I just knew like I needed to be in here. It was an athletic trainer. I was like, this is what I'm doing because I got injured and I can't do what I need to do. Let me get away from these people so I can do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like the best ability was availability. So I associated this with failure. So I'm like, I can't be a part of that.
Yeah.
You can't make the club if you're in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you always over there, you ain't, what are you? What your value to us is, So it's crazy to hear like a different perspective on it where you kind of like physical therapy saved my life. I thought, well, it saved my athletic life for me to like put a stamp on that.
Exactly, yeah.
Me,
have some closure to it.
Yeah, it gave you appropriate closure. Me, I was like, oh, hell no. These people are like taking it away from me, you know? Dang, dude, that's...
Yeah. And that's devastating to hear too because you do have a lot of like PT clinics and that's how they run stuff, right?
Yeah.
Give you a sheet of paper. I remember my dad, I think this was before I started working at Neolife. And he tore his tricep. You know, you see my dad, big dude. He was benching, tore his tricep, right? Had tricep surgery. He went to physical therapy at this place in Gulfport. I ain't gonna say name or nothing like that. But went to this place in Gulfport. It was not Neolife. And he said that the ladies would give him a sheet of things to do and then walk away and talk about like their vacations and stuff like that. He said one day he's sitting there just doing some ball squeeze or something like that. And he had the same kind of epiphany you did. Just like, man, why am I wasting my time here? He got up and left. Got out of there. I think he might have been there for like 2 visits. He was like, man, I'm sitting there ball squeezing. He's like, I can do this at home. Yeah. And so when I told him I wanted to be a physical therapist, that was what he had seen. So he was like, is you sure that you want to do that? Like, yeah. And so I want you to do nursing or something like that. Because his thought of what he's seen as physical therapy wasn't physical therapy.
Yeah,
right?
It wasn't up the part.
I was like, nah, Dad, like I really want to be a physical therapist. Now at this point, this is when I knew, being an athlete was over. I was like, yeah, no, I want to be a physical therapist, try to pursue this thing. And, obviously he supports everything that I do. But his first word was, son, is this something you sure you want to do? Because it wasn't so sweet at the one I went to.
Man.
So yeah, man. Like, but again, stories like that is devastating to hear because like there's so much more to it, right? There's so much more that us as clinicians like we can give. Yeah. But like so many people, I really think it's just because, again, you go through like you get into a cycle, right? And it just kind of gets monotonous and stuff like that within your career. And you get passive with stuff and things like that there. And if like people don't have like an outlet to kind of be able to let go and kind of refresh, right, so that they can be the best version of themselves for the patients, right, at work, then, you're going to have those kind of experiences, right? Yeah. So that's really why I lean on to like running and stuff like that because, that truly gives me like the outlet to kind of let go of that, like be something different, like that pain that I feel like during running, all that. It clears my head so much that I can be like the best version of myself for my wife, right? When I get home, I can be the best version of myself for my wife. I can be the best version of myself at work, right? For my coworkers and the patients too, and right, just kind of.
Cause you the leader of the ship, bro.
Yeah, right. So if I'm coming in there and I'm dragging, I don't care about doing all that. My people gonna do the same exact thing, right?
Is you?
Yeah. Like, okay, if he doing it, then why should I, try to go the extra
Lead by
mile?
example.
Exactly.
Lead by example, man.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
indeed.
you got to take care of yourself, like especially because this is such like a giving field, right? We give so much and we like invest so much into other people, and it's not always reciprocated or appreciated. But like, you can't really let that, get to you. And I think that's what weighs a lot of people down. It's like you give so much, and then say you don't have maybe just particularly the patient, you just can't get that patient buy-in, or like the patient outcome just doesn't go quite like you wanted it to, right? Yeah. Then you can like really get hard on yourself, and then you just kind of be like, okay, you start to get, all right, just put him over there, put him on the stability ball, and let him throw the ball at the trampoline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
I think your ability to key in on the relationship opposed to the result allow you to I guess, what year we in as far as you being a PT?
Year 3.
Year 3. So you're like right there in that crunch time because what average, and I spoke on this before, the average is 5 years.
Of like that burnout rate.
Yeah.
When they kind of switch over.
Like that's 5. The NFL average is 3. And the physical wear and tear of the NFL opposed to a PT, that shit is way over there. So it's like, how do you feel about that? Like the burnout rate being so drastic, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's because of like things I just talked about, like not having like that outlet where you can just refresh yourself, right?
Yeah,
where you can drop that identity of and all of the burden that you take on as a physical therapist, right? Because you're taking on people's problems every single day. Every single day, somebody's in front of you, essentially complaining about what they are going through.
It's almost like a pastor, bro.
Yeah.
It's as you talk about it, I'm like, he sounded like my pastor. Yeah.
And
like
then the next hour you have someone else with different set of problems.
Exactly. And they're putting them all on you and saying, here, fix me.
Yep.
All right, and then you have that conversation. I can't fix you, right? You have to take the reins and take it upon yourself to essentially fix yourself.
Yeah,
right?
Give them agency.
Exactly. I can put you in the position for healing, right? But you have to take on this. This has to be your responsibility, right? I'm no healer. I'm not God. I'm not healing nobody, right? God is the person that's healing you, but we have to work together to put yourself right into a position where you can heal. And so again, but it's taking on all that burden throughout the day. If you don't have a way to like release that, and you're taking that into your home, you're bringing that back into work, and you're not, being able to just refresh, then yeah, man, I probably would have been burnt out already by now.
Especially with your circumstances.
Yeah, because I came into the situation. It was kind of rocky in the situation I came into when I started working at Neolife and went to Bay St. Louis and stuff like that. So I like took on a lot early on, and there's times where I was like, man, I'm really tired. I'm this, I'm that. But I noticed that those days where I do feel like on that edge of burnout or whatever, are the days where I didn't run that morning, or I didn't, do some kind of movement to kind of help release that, right? So for me personally, that's what helps me. Everybody has something different, right, that they kind of lean on to and can refresh themselves. But on those days where I feel like, man, this is like a really rough day, like I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Dang, did I run this morning? I did not. I ain't do my 4 or 6 miles before work this morning, So, that's
4 to 6 miles, bro.
The most I've run before work is 9.
9.
Yeah.
Man, that must have been a crazy pace I rode that day, boy. That's wild. So, man, this is a good flow. All right, and this is gonna lead me to my next one, and it's based off of like what you were saying. Does your ability to lean in openly with your faith? Because again, we've been in this thing for a while, and the many of PTs, you're the only one that I know that's openly spoken on your faith and how God is a active participant in your ability to help others. Oh, yeah. So with you having your mom's a pastor, right?
My dad is a pastor. My mom's a minister. Yeah.
Okay, so having leaders in the church, you know what I'm saying? Does that give you? I ain't gonna say like an extra, incentive or whatnot, but does that do you use that your faith or whatnot to allow you to continue to find that extra to help out others or whatnot?
For sure. Yeah. So faith was instilled in me from the jump, right? My dad, as far as I can remember, my dad was always involved in church in my life, right? So he was a deacon the whole entire, pretty much all my childhood. Then he was a minister. Then he became a pastor. I remember going to, so baseball you play every weekend, right? So you go to your tournaments. I'd be in church in my whole baseball gear. Everything,
man,
hat, jersey, everything, sitting on the front row at church.
Marathon sessions
before we went, back to the sports complex or whatever, right, where the tournament was going on at. So they instilled in me early on that you have to be heavy rooted in your faith and things like that, and that definitely helps me throughout my work day, especially when things get tough. Usually, okay,
there we go.
It's all in God's hands. This is all in God's plan. He wouldn't give me nothing that I can't bear, right? Yeah. And so that allows me the boost to continue to keep going, right, and keep putting my best effort and my best foot forward because I know God got me, right? And like I said, and I know He's the ultimate healer, right? He is going to, He's going to be with us through this situation, and He's going to see us through, right? But we have to do our part in keeping the faith and making sure that you're in the right position to receive, right, that healing that He is going to bestow. Yeah. So there definitely is peace. It gives you peace in knowing that okay, no matter what happens, this is God's plan. This is in God's hands. Even meeting patients, right? It's okay, I know God put us in this situation, right, for a reason, right? And so I'm going to make sure I do my part, right, to make sure that whatever His plan is fulfilled, right? And so it definitely gives me a sense of peace every day when I work. Like I said, when things get tough, it's all right. God got us,
Yeah, man, I love that. I know it, but that's unique for you because I know it's when you're in physical therapy, you have to find ways to that buy-in, provoke thought, engagement to, I guess take off the reveal the curtain or whatnot, so they bring a certain level of humanity.
Yeah, for sure.
But three things that I was this is me and a rule that me and Miles always had was we steer away from politics, religion, and I forgot what the other one was because those topics could be divisive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
for sure.
It could
I do not talk about politics in the
man, bro.
I don't touch that.
Boy, man, it'll start something that you don't want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? People forget that they showed out of place. When it comes to that stuff. So it's but being such I'm very open in my faith, and I always believe God will never give you the toughest battle for the strongest soldiers, and God always got me and I always say that. So it's whenever I'm engaging in certain things, I'm man, this is a moment where I'm I want to drop a little gospel on them, but I don't know.
You don't know how it's gonna be received. You don't know it's gonna go left.
Yeah. So I'm I wanted, because that's how I feel, and I'm not the doctor. So I'm I wonder how you went about that, and you answered that beautifully. So I'm just, because I know you done had some moments where, and all the time. I mean, bro, if y'all think Robbie is those podcasts be marathon sessions, go to church. go to church with him. I'm telling you, man. Text Justin 11. Yeah, text me back at 3. You still up? Yo,
man, the Black Baptist Church, man. Yeah, I mean,
you out of prayers? Yeah. No, you ain't.
Yeah, man. Like I said, being in church all day and stuff like that. Which my dad, I know he has actively worked on shortening up his specific like
Yeah.
services, you know. But you know, when the spirit leading, what you gonna do?
Right.
You know, when the spirit going,
Man.
you can't slow it
And
down.
you know what's so beautiful about that? Like I'm cracking up now, but my first home, the first time I became a homeowner, I live right down the street from a black church,
Yeah.
and they there all day, and I'm like, and I make sure I do the speed limit when I go by, and I just ignore, and I think about you every time, like Justin to be in there right now, you know.
Churches should have like a school zone. Churches should have like a little like a church zone speed limit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't go through that, man. You can't be blasting whatever kind of
Right.
music you like. Turn that down.
Right.
True.
Respect it. Respect the house. For me, like I wasn't always like my mom was always like, if y'all go, y'all go. I'm going. If you go, I ain't gonna force it on you. But this is something I want to do. And actually that's how I met my wife. That's how I got closer with my wife, because my mom was like, she said, all I ever want to do is be able to, I know I didn't get y'all in church like y'all should have, you know, because I always had work. And I understood that at a young age. So, but then when she got a job, she was like, I pray for a job while I'm off on a weekend so I can go to church. And I was like, man, that's, as a mother and single parent home, like my mom was always selfless. And she always gave. And that's what physical therapy is. What I think with y'all extremely selfless. And then my mindset was always very protective. Come like, yo, they always giving. Nobody thinks about what they're giving. And if you continue to give, people gonna continue to take. And they gonna take, and they ain't gonna ask no questions about it. They're gonna take. So, yeah, my mom was like, I want to be able to, this is the one thing I asked for. If I can get a job, I can go on the weekend and go to church. And I was like, dang, man, mama asking that, man. I got to show up. And we end up going to this church. And I'm like, when I'm in church, I'm like, man, how long is it? The Saints play at 12. Like, we got to. When he going to cue him up. We're going to cue him up to get to the piano. I said, oh, yeah, we there. We ready to get out of there. And I was just like, now that same church, that's Kate's been there. That's her whole life. And I drove past this church the whole time. And my mom was like that's the church she wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, that's crazy how things that you say, the power of the tongue, and you just like, and how God just perfectly just put things in order. You know what I'm saying? It's not on our time, it's on his time, and it just allows it to just grow and just build and stuff like that, which leads to me speaking on when you first came on. Not when you first came on, but whenever you was at Neolife, we never worked the same shit.
Yeah, it was
Like,
rare.
well, it was rare, and it was like, and I would call them lazy because they said we'll look alike, and I'm like, no, we don't. I'm like, I'm 3 shades darker than my guy. Like, chill out. And then for you to, I've never thought that I have, like, you be like one of the greatest humans I've ever met, and I'm like, it ain't like we gotta talk all the time, but when we do talk, it's just like, just hit right on the page, just hit the ground running.
For sure.
And that's why I always, with you, for some reason, I feel like you like my faith brother. Like, if whatever I'm lacking in, and my cup ain't filled in regards to like my faith, if I just see your name, I'm like, yeah, I need to go there. I need to go there. I need to get that religion in my system. Need to fill up that cup. You always been that compass for me. You know what I'm saying? And that just speaks to the human that you are, you know, your ability to lead. And even whenever it's not directly, you're indirectly impacting people on just the way that you just go about business, bro. Like, it's a beautiful thing. And I just always want to salute you on, like, you're walking, like, for others to be able to run. Because, again, that 4%, that number is that number. You know what I'm saying? So how you change that is how you go about business. And no matter whoever else wear that PT thing, they can't be you. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna change. I truly believe like you'll change the narrative on how people look at PT, but also people look at black male PTs.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a whole different genre. You know, so hey man, you're an outstanding human being, and your mom and dad raised the king, bro. For real, man. I truly do mean that. I truly do mean that from the bottom of my heart to depths of my soul, bro. I absolutely love you, bro.
I love you too, bro.
You, man.
I love you too, bro.
You're my guy.
And people don't say I love you enough, right? Like that, I love you, man. You know, people don't say I love you enough, and it's like sharing, spreading that love like that. So
truly do mean that,
especially
man.
as men, right? We don't go around just telling each other I love you enough.
Nah, because I ain't grow up like that.
In my opinion,
we didn't.
But much respect for you too, man. Like,
dude.
The thing that you've built, right? That's what now Savage Mountain.
Yes.
Now, man, it's so powerful, right? You think about like the inspiration that you are to like so many people, and like how many people that you lead, and like the lives that you touched, right? And the lives that you've changed too. Through not just you being that resource of like them getting better physically, right? But like, the mental and spiritual aspect, right? That you do too, man. It's it's cool to see. Again, I know I'm way in Slidell now, so I kind of see it from afar. But again, like I always want to show you as much love as I can for sure.
And you do, bro.
And I try, man. Just want to let you know, man. Like, I remember like when you was working me, I was at 2018. Yeah, we was working out together and doing that stuff. Man,
getting after it.
Yeah, man. But the things that you did for me back then, I don't think I ever said them back then. But like, not just physically, right? How you pushed me in the gym and stuff like that. But it's like the mental growth that I got from those sessions too, man, was life changing, right? And I'll also say that's what aided in my drive, right? Going into PT school and those different things was getting you allowing me to tap into that part of me too. So big ups to you, man, for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, and we can go on and on. I know, like helping with myself, because I will always like see how you grow and build, and I'm like, man, Justin killing it, and I'm like, bro, I want him to come through and just change the game, and then you would send me some Knies stuff and stuff that I still refer to, how the back pedal helps with the speed.
Yeah.
We engage in that. Just talking to Bad Batch about the back pedal with the sled. I don't even know who Knees Over Toes guy is, bro. I ain't look at one clip on one clip of his stuff. But you sent that to me, and I'm like, man, we've been pushing this sled, backpedaling with the sled for a minute now. And what's his name? The Knees Over Toe guy? Like, oh man, I wish we had a camera. But when thinking about any of that, we're just going about it. But guys like you and the many conversations I had with Joe fighting with that big bastard
Joe.
about the front squat and how he didn't believe it was good for the ACL and the knees and stuff like that. Now for it to be, as far as like athletic profiling, if you can't front squat, like that's, I don't know, it's almost like how yesteryear approach was whenever they say, if you can't power clean, you can't do this. Like the front squat is like it's an essential thing,
Yeah, for sure.
But y'all having faith in me before I even had a credential or a title. Just someone that just had like drive and want to and just want to be able to help others, man. So hell yeah, dude. Thank you. So
for sure, man.
So much, man, for believing in me before others, gave a damn. So nah, man, again, bro, thank you so much, man.
Justin,
Man,
do you get after it in the gym? I know you said you started getting into running, but what if some of that release is? Do you find that in the gym at all?
Yeah, I do find it in the gym. I would say it's not quite, I guess, as far as like the release part of it, I don't quite get it from the gym like I do running. But yeah, that's one thing that's been a struggle too, like trying to still, because I don't want to have a runner's body. I want to run.
We were talking about that before you got here.
Yeah. I don't want to have no runner's body, man. I ain't trying to do that. So So like trying to in this, so I had got the first year I ran, I got injured. I had injured my knee because it was or maybe it was last year. No, it was the first year. It was when I ran that half marathon 2 years ago.
Missed that out.
Yeah, so I was actually injured running it, but that was because I was trying to keep up my same lifting and like squat heavy and do all these things and run at the same time. And then so this year, or technically last year when I ran, I kind of changed everything up. I still like went heavy early in the year, but when I got into what I call my running season, right around like May, when I kind of start vamping my running, I just switched from like doing heavy squats to more really like physical therapy kind of looking work. I'm doing my band-up lateral walks. You know, I'm doing clamshells and you know sideline straight leg raises and like doing like some explosive stuff, like plyometric stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm not loading up a squat rack with like 315 on there and going 3 sets of 10.
Okay, joint wise, you saving up the joints?
Say it again.
I'd say you saving up the joints or whatnot.
Yeah, and then also like trying to just build some more stability. Around it.
Yeah.
And like isolate like some muscles and working on
isometric strength.
Yeah. And so again, that's what kept me healthy last year. Right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have no knee pain, no hip pain, like no nothing. I was good all year. But I think that was because I cut back in the gym, right? Trying to do heavy lifting. You got to run it. But now I'm weak. So now I'm trying to man, I tried to bench like, because usually I would put 135 on the bar.
Don't incriminate yourself now. Don't do that.
I hit that 20 times, and then I just work my way up to 225 and, you know, hit that 10 times, and it'd be a breeze. Right?
There you go.
It'd be easy.
Yeah.
Man, I put 135 on the bar like 2 weeks ago.
Not the snack cakes.
Man, I said, yeah, I'm gonna have to stay here today. I did like the first round of 10. I couldn't even get to 20. I think I like tapped out at like 15. I said, oh no.
Yeah, it ain't the Justin I know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's getting back up there. It's getting there. But now I'm tapping back into the gym now. So I'm not running as much. So it still gives me some sort of release like for my day and allow me to kind of fill my cup back up prior to you know giving so much right when I'm in the clinic. But I just running. I don't know, man. It just taps into something different for me. You know?
Bro, when I was dropping my girls off and I looked to my left and I saw you and the wifey, y'all was hitting the bridge.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, Justin, I'm gonna text him anyway. Man, little appetizer. So the man ran a 5. It's a 5K.
It was the 5K the day before the half marathon.
5K, then preamble, bro. Like the intro to the marathon, half marathon.
Yeah. It was an intro to the half marathon. They have like a 5K day the day before. You know, people want to do a 5K.
Well, look at him. Shout out to him for all West Africans. Shout out to all y'all that be punishing. But he don't look like he gonna be running a preamble 5K before a damn 13 miles?
13.1, yeah.
13.1 miles the day before.
So the warm-up was a marathon itself.
Just about. for your regular smuggler, yeah, it is. I said, man, what in the hell are you doing?
Yeah, man.
This man, like
Kudos
a
to that,
couple's
bro.
date. Running a 5K. And
Kudos to that.
Yeah,
That's
I
no
was
easy
glad my
feat.
wife was able to do it with me too. It's because she ran track in college, but she's not a runner. She hates running. But now that I've kind of gotten into running, just kind of stay consistent with it, she's like slowly kind of gotten into running and stuff like that. So it's always fun, like being able to do those things together. So
And that's a release for her too, I'm sure.
Yeah. So called us at like a prize moment. We was doing that 5K together.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably only like our second or third one
Together?
Us being able to do it together.
Dang, yeah. So what had happened is I'm gonna be the wifey of this situation because Kate, because I was in the passenger seat when I saw you, but Kate saw you first, and you know, like, bro, Kate said, "Yeah, soon as baby number 3 out, we running." I said, "Bro, this dude trying to kill me."
Hey man, y'all sign up with me.
Bro, she already got it on her mind.
Yeah.
She said, she said, figure it out. What you tell them? What you tell everybody? I said, figure it out. She goes, Figure it out. You have to figure it out because once this baby out, we running.
There you
I
go.
said, damn it, man. Damn
Y'all meet me
it.
over in Bay St. Louis, man. We'll start hitting that bridge.
Bro, when you Snapchat me, I'm like, bro. He Snapchat me the bridge. He don't do it as much because he ain't in season right now. But when it's go time, yeah, Snapchat me the path that he about to go on. Or either after you did it or before you run.
Right before.
I'm like, God bless. Bro. I'm talking ass cracker done, bro. No, like it's just him, bridge, and I just see a little bit of the like that skyline because the sun about to rise, and he taking off, and I'm like, man, ain't no way,
Yeah.
because the patient load is the patient load.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what you looking for before. Oh no.
But as to
built
the
different.
release too that I was talking about, man, because there's nothing like so if I start my run at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Say I'm doing like a longer run. Like I'm doing, say before work, I'm doing like 6 miles.
That means you get up at 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I get up at 4. I gotta leave the house by like 4:30. Go from Slaughter to Bay St. Louis takes about 30 minutes. And but being able to see the sunrise like the whole entire time while you're running, before you go into this day, right? You see like God's beauty, right? Before you go into this day where you're taking on so many people's problems and stuff and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
It's not just the patients too. It's also,
Yeah.
my people at work, right? Like they come in with stuff too that you have to take on and figure out and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
man, just like seeing that at the start of the day and then going to work, how can you not have a great day? You know what I'm saying?
What? And I'd be remiss not to mention this because this one is the one I wanted to ask. So with that mindset, being an athlete that you are, the person to galvanize as many people, do you feel like it would be, I guess, diminishing of your powers if you was to ever decide to coach, like to be a sports coach?
Would it be diminishing?
Yeah.
Of my power to say? No. I mean, I can. You talking about like coaching like kids and stuff like that?
Because it keeps you in a specific realm. Because when you're
Yeah.
doing PT, it broadens it out. Like, not, though people have to be injured to get into to get your services.
Right.
But now with the passing of what it was, anyone can come in. I forgot what it was called. God,
Direct access.
direct access.
Yeah.
Like anyone can see you now. But just when people come at you, it's just injury. But now, like if you was a coaching, do you think like it'll be diminishing because you can't impact the community as much?
If I went into coaching.
Yeah, if you went into coaching. Did you ever think about coaching? For one?
Yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
thought about coaching. And I'm sure, like to some extent, it'll still be something I probably dive into, especially if I have a kid that is playing a sport.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be hard not to coach them at some point. My dad was my coach.
Yeah.
My entire childhood up until I got to like middle school when you go into like your specific school stuff.
Okay.
Can't be a coach there no more. But I can definitely see myself doing that. And then too, because I want to impact kids. That's the only thing. I want to be a mentor and I want to impact the youth and stuff like that. That's like one of my big goals with physical therapy too. So yeah, it wouldn't be diminishing at all. It would definitely be like just like another opportunity to shed some light on the youth. You know,
Okay.
that'd be coaching
Right.
for sure.
I think coaches and leaders go hand in hand though. Because if
for
you're
sure.
leading,
Yeah.
you're coaching and vice versa. So I feel like you are coaching in a lot of ways, even though it's not the specific title. Oh, I'm a coach.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I found myself too, and it's just recently just happened with the uptick of like baseball guy. Because I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a fan of sports, and I know all the teams in the MLB. I know college baseball, but like the minutia, the specifics, pitching, and all the mechanics. That's not me, and I do not portray to do that. But coaching is coaching, being able to connect, creates culture, build up that, and then I'm like, man, it's how you found the love for PT. It's some people that was like, instead of thinking of PT, they just thought about just being a coach. You know, 'cause I'm like, the way that you're talking, I'm like, he sound like me, but my mindset was to do what he's trying to accomplish. I had to be a coach. I had to coach. But you chose to be a PT, and I guess that just speaks on the uniqueness and the gift that is you, because it's like not everybody thinking like that. Especially you said 8th grade. I don't think about no damn PT, man.
I wasn't either. Miss Cooper.
Well,
Shout out Miss
Miss
Cooper.
Bro, shout out Miss Cooper
Shout out Miss
because
Cooper, man.
whoever the hell else or any other person would have been like, if that, because that, it was there because you always wanted to make an impact, but she just kind of like, I guess made you go a little deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like kind of exposed me to like a different avenue
Yeah.
to achieve that. Yeah,
She probably saw that in you too.
Cause service,
She tried to drive it
yeah.
out.
It's, I'm thankful for her because she could have just let me just.
Janitor.
Yeah, she could have let me just do any other ones that I presented out.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was like, no, like you said, I see this in this kid. Like he needs to reach higher. Like he needs to do X, Y, Z.
And the fact you remember it too.
Oh yeah, I'll never forget her for that specific situation, right? Because
It led to this.
yeah, it led to this. It led me to the ability to again touch people, right? Be a mentor to people, provide for my family, right? Those different things. So
Yes, indeed, man.
Extremely grateful, man.
Golly, yeah, because I'm just, again, it's like you are coaching, but just the game, it's a game of life, not a sport. You're not bound by a scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? You're the head coach in life, and you're helping and allowing people to go back into. The game is life. So whenever they're in there, like, hey, now you good. Go back in.
Allow them to get back into the garden. Like the little small stuff. Get back into the garden. Be able to pick up their grandkids again. Small stuff like that is huge, man. It's huge.
It's beautiful that you take pride in that, man. Cause there's been some people that get into this field because they didn't want to work in construction. They wanted to be able to touch AC. And these are things that I've heard from like, man, why you getting into this? No, I ain't want to work in that. I didn't want to work in outside. You know, I'm smart enough to work out a little bit and do a little bit of this, and I just wanted to have some AC touch my back.
We live in Mississippi. Cool.
But it's like, you what? Okay. And again, man, the fact that you love people, good people helping good people, and that's what I spoke a lot about with Michael Kozlowski, that's in here. Good person, man. But you are one of those kind of people that just like good people just want to help good people and just leading with faith, man. Yeah. And I think that'll supersede the monster that is the healthcare, insurance, that whole situation, man. You fighting a battle, brother.
Yeah,
you fighting a battle, man. So, but anyway, well, if it's anything that you could say to the masses or whatnot, if anyone that needs to find their Mrs. Cooper, you know, how would you go about that? Like, can you talk to the camera and just shed some light and some will or some positive words on there?
Yeah, I mean, truly, like, sky is the limit. Like, don't create any boundaries around yourself, around your mind, and what you can accomplish. Right. I'm thankful for Miss Cooper that she kind of put this avenue right for me. But again, my parents are the ones who kind of really set that foundation for me to kind of get to this point, right? And so, again, I was creating a boundary on myself. I was like, I'm an athlete. That's a boundary, right? So, again, I'm thankful that she just showed me that there's so much more, right, that can be done, and there is, right? If you put boundaries around yourself, put these fences up, then you're just limiting yourself, right? And so, just let go of all those boundaries, right? Believe in yourself, right? Surround yourself with people who are like-minded, and also want to, right, tear down those boundaries with you, right? And so the company that you keep around is huge, right? If you aren't around, right, people who are like-minded, who are driven, right, then all they're going to do is slow you down or tear you down. So at the end of the day, surround yourself with good people, and keep a goal in mind, but don't put no boundaries on yourself, right? Because you can truly exceed and do whatever you put your mind to.
My man. And I want to bring it home on that one, but last thing, bro. Give me your top 5 Yankees.
Oh,
give me or top five?
My personal top 5.
Your list.
Okay,
You got the ox cord. Give me 5
All right, I'm gonna say this is
listening
my
to.
personal top 5 because
They gonna punish you.
I know that's the thing because there's gonna be because there's a lot of great Yankees, right? There's gonna be some names I'll leave off the list because I was not around to see them play.
Okay.
So you think about like your typical names, your Babe Ruth, your Bears, your Lou Gehrig's, all those people.
All those.
They not gonna be on my list.
You ain't see them.
All right, so
Babe Ruth ain't on your list?
so my number one is Derek Jeter.
Respect.
Right.
Respect.
Number 2, Mariano Rivera. Close, right?
Sandman.
3. I gotta put Reggie Jackson in there.
Ooh.
Okay. 4, I gotta put Gary Sheffield in there myself. Right.
That's a personal phrase. That's a personal. Phrase. That's your list.
There is not a single baseball player out there who did not imitate Gary Sheffield's swing. Right.
Look at the gold around his neck.
There's not a single baseball player out there who did not do the, you get. So you have to put him as far as like people who touch the game.
Impact.
Yes, I feel like you gotta put Gary Sheffield at 4. And then it's tough. I would love, just because I know he was just a Yankee for a short amount of time, I would love to put Juan Soto in there.
Ooh,
I would love to, but I got to put Aaron Judge in there because he is like a true captain.
Recency bias a little bit
On the Aaron Judge thing or the Juan Soto thing?
On the Aaron Judge.
I've seen him play. I mean, I've seen him
there
play.
We go. Yeah,
I'm going off of people that I seen play. Technically, Reggie Jackson I did not see play, but you cannot leave. You can't leave him off. You can't leave.
Yeah.
So these. So I would say these are people who were impactful to me in like my baseball career, and I got inspiration from watching these people. So that's why these specific people.
All right, so round them off one more time. Round them off.
So number 1 was Derek Jeter.
Okay.
2 was Mariano Rivera. 3 was Reggie Jackson. 4, who I said 4? Gary Sheffield, and then 5, Aaron Judge.
All right, man. All right.
That's a good list.
That's a good one. All right, so
we're my personal list.
That's
y'all.
his.
I know there's some Yankee fans out there who, cussing me out or whatever.
Yeah, buddy.
I know somebody just rolled in their grave somewhere or something like that.
Oh, buddy.
But yeah, those are the guys who are impactful for me.
Well, look, this has been chapter
9.
Chapter 9 of the Savage Mountain Podcast, and we're out.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you
having me.
Yes, indeed, man.